Welcome back to the movement, everybody. You already know who your host is. We got a special guest in the house. He's one of my fellow kings. Very distinguished entrepreneur. He's out here. His name is Brandon Bambino. I don't know if I'm saying your last name right. Atay?
Yeah, perfect, bro.
There you go,
perfect.
man.
A lot of people say Atay.
Atay?
But it's Turkish, so it's...
oh, you're Turk.
Yeah.
I love your food, man.
Really?
I love your food. Your food, bro, is a banger.
What do you like?
You know what? Anything that's meat related, barbecue,
Yeah.
I'm finished, bro.
Really?
You know what I
so
mean?
you like Turkish doner?
Like, oh, I'm Turkish, don't I? Like, give me something more than that. Give me something more than that.
Well, it's Iskandar, which is, it's doner, but with like a base of bread with like tomato sauce on it. That's like the traditional Turkish meal.
Oh, yeah?
It's fire. It's fire.
Where from Turkey you from?
Izmir. So have you heard of Çeşme?
I'm going to act like I know, but everybody only knows what Istanbul.
Yeah, so it's south of Istanbul.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's very like Mediterranean.
You know what? Actually, no, man. There's actually a friend of mine just took a trip. He came back and he was like, he was in this place. Bro, they had the Byzantines or something like that. You ever watch Resurrection?
No, never heard of it.
No, eh? It's a show about a guy named Ertuğrul. And then basically he was, before his son was the founder of the Ottomans.
Oh, okay.
So his son was Osman, right? And then I guess at some point, I know they fought the Romans and all this other stuff. And there was a place, man, I don't know why I can't remember the name. They fly hot air balloons.
Oh, it's gonna piss me off.
See, now it's driving me nuts. I saw it, man. It looks incredible.
Cappadocia?
Cappadocia,
Yes,
bro.
okay.
With the fucking fig jam.
Yeah.
You're showing me the breakfast.
It's nice, man. It's nice.
Is it my mic or his mic? His mic. There you go. There you go.
My bad.
So tell everybody about my man here, Bambino, man.
Well,
What's your story, man?
I started off as a videographer.
Very good.
That's what I went to school for. And just like we were talking about earlier, networking, right? It's the key to success, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I started off as a videographer, dabbled in the nightclub scene, doing music videos and doing nightclub promo videos.
How did that work out? Sorry to cut you off.
What do you mean?
Music videos in Ottawa. We all know we don't have the scene here for it, but
It was tough. I started when I was in high school, so I would do music videos for my friends, and then
because
kinda hit a
everybody was
wall.
trying to be a rapper, right?
Exactly. But after a while, you kind of get bored of it, right? So I went to Toronto. I was doing a lot of work in Toronto with big artists over there, and then just the lifestyle, man. It wasn't for me.
Oh,
was not
really?
for
Oh,
me.
that's it, eh?
Yeah, that's it. It was just, I don't know, man. It was so weird, and I felt, like I said, I really felt like you hit a brick wall, right?
Why?
So just expanding in Ottawa is so tough. You're doing music videos and it's repetitive. Everyone wants the same scene. The rappers want the same scene, right?
But even in Toronto, though?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was working with a lot of underground rappers, right? And it was always the same thing. So that's when I decided to go to school for it. I'm like, okay, what if I do like a film production company? And then while I was in school, I became an actor. So I became in front of the camera rather than behind it.
Nice.
And I liked it.
What do you like about acting, man? What drew you away from making music videos to acting?
I think it was mostly when I was recording videos, I wanted people to act a certain way. Like I had a scene in mind. I could do it with the camera, but if the quote unquote actor or, artist wasn't doing it that way, it just didn't sit right with me. So when I became the actor, I was like, okay, like now I know what I want. But
So you just got into acting from there. You just said, you know what, I'm done with.
yeah,
Or you still did a couple of videos here and there.
I still did a couple videos here and there. Like, got to pay the bill somehow.
No, for 100%. Was it good money though? Or do you guys charge?
Not really. Because a lot of the times, like I did a music festival, but that was free, right? It's just to get my name out there. And then after you get a music video, you're charging $800, but you're not getting a music video every week. Right.
That's true. Like, well, I guess, you know what? It just reminds me of Masari and Belly running away from here too, man.
You have to. I mean, all love to the city, but sometimes you got to leave.
You know what? It's interesting because it's crazy that you say that because there was a guy, I don't know if you ever seen that post.
Which post?
Sean, what was his name? Joshua Bell?
Yeah.
Joshua Bell. So he's a violinist.
Okay.
He's a violin. And he was on a subway. You ever see that?
Yes, I did actually.
Isn't that wild, man?
Yeah.
The guy sells out arena, is just sold out the arena. It's a $3 million violin, but he's on the subway and he gets $45.
Yeah.
So you can be extraordinary in an ordinary place, and it's still the same. They had to hire a nightlife city manager, bro. Like, I guess that goes into you, right? So that's what I wanted to get into, because you have a nightclub yourself.
Yeah.
And that is called The Show.
The Show, yeah. It used to be called Tequila Jack's.
That's what it was?
Yeah, I wasn't the owner then.
Yeah. That was Abbas, I think, right?
Yeah, so he's actually my business partner.
That's crazy. He's a good guy.
Yeah, very nice guy. But yeah, a lot of people send me the nightlife manager post or nightlife mayor. It's a nightmare, right?
As soon as I seen that, that's when I'm like, fuck, Ottawa's doomed, man.
I really want that position to work, but I feel like the way the city is constructed, it's almost set up for failure.
It's tough.
It's very tough. It's tough.
So what do you think, in your opinion, how would it work for you guys? Like, what could be tailored to help out the nightlife scene in downtown, since you're there all the time? And
I think the biggest problem we have in the nightlife scene right now is violence. You have shootings, you have stabbings, and there's no getting away from it. They have 20 cops on the street, there's still shooting or stabbings happening, right?
Wild.
And I don't know if it's the people's mindsets or whatever. I don't know how a nightmare could fix that, right?
So what, people, are you just seeing a decline in the business? Is that what's going on downtown, or is it still bumping?
Like, Byward is slowly dying. Like, we're trying to revamp it up, and I truly think 2 years from now it'll do a lot better. But right now, Elgin's thriving because of it.
Really?
Elgin is much safer.
It makes sense. You know what? Even, how about I tell you, myself, I've stopped clubbing and going out. That's why, most of the time I'm not even in tune with the nightlife scene anymore. I haven't gone out to a club in like 2014, bro.
Jeez.
It's been a long time, but I still remember. I'm like, you know what? Even back in those days, it wasn't as hot, but it was starting to get hot. And I feel like nowadays, I'm like, fuck, every other day.
Yeah.
All you hear is a shooting and stabbing. I'm like, bro, even if I wanted to take my wife and my son to go downtown for a walk, I'm like, I wouldn't even fucking do it anymore.
Out of there by 8 o'clock.
Yeah. I'm like, it's too. I can be a tough guy all day, but I'm like, you have the wife, you got a kid. I'm like, but if I feel like that, imagine the ones that actually go downtown.
Yeah. And that's my biggest fear, man, is a stray bullet. That bully's not meant for you.
Yeah, like, what the fuck? But you know what? These guys are cowards anyways, man. If they're watching, go fuck yourselves.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You guys are actually cowards, man.
Literally.
And they're ruining the complete... You know what, man? I grew up... I've done a lot. I used to go downtown every day before, man. And it was fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's why it's sad to see if... This is the heart of the city. This is the last piece we had, bro.
Yeah.
Ottawa's already fucking boring.
It's tough, too, because like we're a student bar, right? So it's very college, university oriented. And all the bars around us, it's a very different clientele, right? It's a little bit older clientele. So, imagine the 19-year-olds that go out and their parents hear about the shootings. The parents are like, you're not going back.
100%.
So I think that's our biggest challenge.
Well, what do you think about, because it used to be Tequila Jack's. Actually, I've been to Tequila Jack's years ago. What did you guys do to revamp the space?
So they revamped it to the Show before I took over. So they revamped it, I think it was early 2018. I started there in 2019.
So take us through that, man. How did you get this whole thing done? What I'm trying to do with this podcast is I'm trying to give people substance. You know what I mean? So that's why gentlemen like you and whoever that we bring on the pod, I want to show them how you did it. You know what I mean? So they can do it too. It
definitely was not the most orthodox way.
That's the only way then, bro.
It's how I got in the industry was really through just doing music videos. So I was working at Boathouse, Boathouse, it's a retail store. Yeah. And a person that worked there worked in the nightclub. And like, hey, like we need a audio visual director. So somebody doing a light show. And she's like, do you know anyone? Made a few phone calls and we couldn't get anybody. She was so desperate that she asked me to come. I said yes. I know nothing about lights. In my head, I'm like, I went to school for lighting like this, 3-point lighting. That's it. That's all. I get there, there's a board with 100 buttons. All right, let's roll with it.
Holy fuck.
And I did really well to the point where there was an artist performing and they said, like, I'm not coming back unless he's my light tech.
Really?
So that's how I got the job.
Wow.
I got my start in the nightlife that way. Usually people start off as a bartender or a bar back, and I just went straight to light tech. But through there, once again, networking. I was talking to bottle service girls. I became good friends with one of them. And just through there, I kind of jumped nightclub to nightclub. But every time I jumped or switched positions, it was a higher position. And it was a higher position. So I was 19. I was assistant manager at Foreign Cinema. I don't know if you've heard of it. It used to be called Ace for Toto or something like that.
Fuck, you're making me feel old, man.
I'm young, man. I'm young. I'm only 24. So
I'm only 32, man. I'm not that old.
True.
Okay, so yeah, I don't remember them. But continue.
But yeah, so then COVID hit, right? And COVID just kind of hit a big reset, right? The general manager at the show at the time switched jobs, started working at the head office, and didn't have a GM. So they asked me. And,
how was that, man? How was the scene during COVID?
I'd be lying if I said it was non-existent. There's a lot of underground parties happening, which I have no involvement in.
The disclaimer, man. Don't be fucking...
Yeah, but you have to keep moving, right? Like if you just stop during COVID...
That's a fact.
Like it's just... I don't know. I feel like the most successful people came out of COVID just working.
That's true.
But yeah, it was so many steps of just, oh, this person, I know this person, I know this person. And they're like, oh, how about you do this for me? And how about you do this? One day to the next, I became the GM. Like
so
with a blink of an eye.
Do you feel like it tied into what you're doing now, COVID?
What do you mean?
Like in a sense of it made you, you've been making all these calls and trying to figure out everything. Because let's be honest, it was unprecedented times. Nobody fucking knew how to navigate it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I truly feel like pushing during COVID definitely helped me to be where I'm at today.
So you're a GM.
Yeah, so now I'm the managing partner. So I'm the general manager, but I'm also part owner. So it's kind of how it works with a lot of nightclubs is they always have an owner managing the establishment.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So you're there every night?
Sometimes when we're open on Thursdays, but Friday, Saturdays, I'm there all the time.
It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
So how did that conversation go? You just went up to Abbas and you just told him, hey, man.
He gave it to me, actually. So they offered me the job. And in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be managing a nightclub. And after Doug Ford says, yeah, patios only this summer. So in my head, I went from managing a nightclub to now I'm managing a patio.
Yeah.
It was tough. It was very tough. But then slowly, we went to 25% capacity. So we had like 150 people inside. And then March of last year, that's when we went full capacity. But it was just kind of a slow transition. I think Abbas saw like how well I was doing. And after he just offered me ownership. And
so hard work does pay off, man.
It does. It does.
I feel like the biggest thing for people, it's very crazy that you say that because I feel like a lot of people are yes men. Mm-hmm. And the ones that you really want in your corner are not. Those are the ones that are actually innovative and they're doers and they get things done.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing, man. So
yeah.
Look what you're doing now. Is that the only nightclub that you own?
Yeah.
Are you part of York Entertainment? Is that what it is?
No, so this is Dream Mind. So Dream Mind is Abbas's company. So we have Room 104, The Show, Happy Fish, Waverly, Palace. I really hope I'm not missing one. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm just at the show.
Okay.
I help out at the head office too. Sometimes I'll DJ because I also DJ on the side too, just for fun. I'll do like Happy Fish, Room 104. Berlin. We have Berlin now.
Berlin, you were missing one.
Yes,
eh?
I was. My bad.
Abbas, don't get mad, man.
Yeah.
And then after that, York is who? Aiden?
York is Todd Brown. So it's like Cornerstone, Sky Lounge, the old green room back in the day.
See, I do remember the green room.
Yeah.
So I remember something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember Aiden at some point. I think Aiden or his brother, Arian, were also part of York Entertainment. That was a long time ago.
So, yeah. Well, I started at Cavalli, and Aiden owned Cavalli. Yeah. And I haven't seen Aiden in a while, but he's a good guy.
Fuck, you're bringing back memories. As soon as I keep hearing these names, I'm like, man, it was a blast back in the days.
Yeah. When I first started in the industry, it was so much fun. So much fun.
What's the most ratchet shit you see in the clubs? I think a lot of people are interested. What's the most ratchet shit you see there?
Well, it happened not at my club. This is a different club, which I'm not gonna name. But there was a big mosh pit, and I was 19 at the time, and I'm just jumping, and next thing you know, I just get hit in the face by something. What the hell? And they get stuck to my earring. I look, and it was some girl's weave.
No fucking.
Yeah, yeah.
You ever catch people hacking, smashing in the bathrooms and all that other stuff?
Often.
Really?
Often.
What do you guys
disgusting.
What do you guys do about that though?
We kicked them out.
That's
like,
it.
I mean, what else?
Well,
are we supposed to do?
I'm not asking you to do something else. I always wonder what do you guys end up just doing with them. You know, like, hey, you don't do that again, or do you just be like, hey, you have to?
Well, we throw them out, and security makes it very obvious. Like, you screwed up. and they don't do it again.
How is security downtown nowadays?
Our security is great. Love my security. They've been doing it for like 15 years. They're great.
Is it contracted or they're in-house?
So this is in-house. A lot of other bars are contract work, and that's where it gets a little bit difficult. Because when you have contract work, you don't always have the same security guards, right?
That's true.
And they don't know the clientele. They don't really know what's going on. I truly think it's really important to always have the same security guards because they understand the venue. They understand everything, right?
Even the doorman.
That's the most important part.
100%.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was about to just touch on the same point. I was about to be like, I feel like the doormen are the life of the party too.
Yeah.
If they hate the doorman, a lot of people didn't want to deal with them.
Yeah. You have to be strict. Like we set so many rules, which we get heat for it all the time, but it's just to keep the customers safe. So
it's that bad, eh?
That bad. Like there's no, like the little side bags that people wear. I wear them sometimes too, but in the club we don't allow it because a lot of people, they'll stash weapons in there.
Bro, let's be honest. That back in the days was a drug dealer's staple. If you wore that, you knew, hey, that's a D-boy right there. Yeah, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's no sunglasses, no hoods. Why the sunglasses? Because a lot of the times, if you look at videos of shootings, people have sunglasses and hoods on. They try to hide their identity, right?
Makes sense.
So we have cameras at the door. We have no hood rule and no sunglasses. So when you walk in, your face is right on the camera right away.
They're very good.
So if you do anything stupid inside, we can trace it back to you.
Very good. But you guys scan the IDs or
No, it's just a camera on the top.
I guess you don't need to do all that anyways.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully everybody's safe and nothing ever happens there, right?
Yeah, knock on wood. I honestly think that the Show is probably the safest nightclub in the market.
So what do you think, what's the competitive advantage that you guys have downtown compared to most nightclubs?
Well, if you look at 10 years ago, there was 7 or 8 other nightclubs like us. Student driven. They play the same music. Now there's 2.
Well, who's the other one?
Sky Lounge.
I thought Sky Lounge was a shisha place, no?
I think there's another place called something like Sky or whatever, but Sky Lounge is on York.
I was thinking of Sky Culture Lounge on Hawthorne.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, man.
Okay, no, it's all good.
So that's another student bar.
Yeah, it's another student bar. I don't really say they're a competition because we're 2 very different clubs, but at the end of the day, our clientele they go back and forth.
That must be interesting because you probably see all walks of life.
Yeah.
Since it's all students, you probably get a lot of internationals and shit like that.
We do. Yeah.
Probably hear some crazy stories.
With international students, not really. Not really.
You don't think so?
Not that I can think of. I'm sure I have some, but not that I can think of at the top of my head.
So then after that, so on top, okay, so you're a nightclub owner, and then what else do you do on top?
Pretty much, I love DJing. Like right now, I don't want to say it's my main focus, but on the side, I like DJing a lot. It's fun, man. Like
really,
just seeing how you can move the entire crowd. Like I've had DJs at the club before where they don't use the mic, they DJ, and there's no energy behind them, right? But then when I have a DJ that comes in, you can see the energy on his face. He's talking on the mic, and it moves people, right? And you can completely control the attitude of the room, like the energy as well. And I don't know, it just kind of inspired me. Where I like doing that on the side now. I
love a good DJ, man.
Yeah.
They make you move. They get the party going.
Mm-hmm.
You know who actually I found was one of the worst DJs, and I'm not even talking shit about him?
Who?
Is Pauly D. What a joke, man. I remember years ago, when Jersey Shore just started coming out, I think 2008, 9, whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember he came down. I don't remember the nightclub anymore that we went to. And then, anyways, we're all excited. Hey, Pauly D, you get to see the whole cast and shit. Bro, he was absolutely the worst DJ halfway through the night.
Yeah.
I said, I'm cutting, man.
Really, yeah?
I'm out. Bro, every time the beat would start getting good and it's about to drop, he just changed the song. I'm like, what the fuck you doing? So I agree with you. Some of these guys, man, they're not good, but when you find a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that tie into the business, though? Obviously, do you DJ at your own place, or like how does that work?
I try not to because there's a lot of things going on, right?
Well, that's true.
But I like coaching a lot of the DJs. And, some people are coachable, some people aren't. But I think a good DJ can either make or break your business. That's sure.
True. That's true.
For sure. Because we're a nightclub, right? Like, you're paying to get in, and the attraction is the DJ. If you have Spotify going on, you're not keeping that crowd.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, where does the DJ, do they create their own playlist? How do they make their stuff? Like, how would you do it?
So most DJs create their own playlists, which they should, but there's still rules, right? Like, we're a nightclub, we're not gonna play slow dancing music or country, right?
Facts.
They just gotta stay on track, and as long as they do that, we're happy.
So you guys do any like drill music or anything like that?
Not
Like, what
really,
kind of
no.
music do you guys play at this place?
So it's top 40s, some EDM, some pop. Not too much rap, but we'll play like the Mo Bamba and Pop Smoke and stuff.
Yeah, they're fun, man. They're hype
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
Yeah, like all the hype stuff, but nothing too deep. You have to keep everyone singing. That's the best part.
Do you feel like one of the rules a lot of people don't do like anything like that, like too deep, is for the fact that sometimes they get too rowdy and hectic? Because let's be honest, Pop Smoke music and all that, I love his stuff, but
Yeah.
like it definitely makes you feel some type of way sometimes, you know? But
Yeah. Well, it depends, right? Like, once again, it comes down to the DJ. Like, if the DJ is just, he's in the booth and he's trapping, people will feed off that energy, right?
100%.
But if he's on the mic, he's like, I want everyone to bounce right now. Like, people will bounce and they'll just have fun with it, right? So it really depends how you bring it in. But if it's just drill music the whole night,
Fuck that.
yeah, no.
That's too much.
You'll be spending a lot of money on new light bulbs, for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
People
man.
steal light bulbs
I,
all the time.
I never would have thought that, man. I definitely wouldn't have thought that. So then, okay, so let me ask you this: how did because you're an actor, right?
Not anymore, but yeah.
How did that go, man? Like, who are you acting for at that time?
So I was with Angie's. I signed with Angie's. It was crazy. Like, insane.
Like, I want the full juice. Like, take me through the fucking process. there,
So
man.
it happened, well, it was during COVID, right? Like, money was a little tight. So I was like, okay, like acting, I'll give it a shot because they're still doing movies and stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I signed up and right away she's like, yeah, I'll take you, but like, you need some classes. All right. So I took some classes and the whole time they're saying like, for the first 6 months, you might not get an audition. So like, just, don't worry about it. It'll come. I think the first month that I signed, I had like 10, 15 auditions.
Wow.
It was crazy. I only got like one gig,
Yeah.
but it pays ridiculously.
Really?
Yeah, it was $1,400 for a 1 day shoot. And
That's
I was a
fucking
background
no-brainer.
actor. Like, I wasn't like the main guy.
That's crazy. What was this for, though?
It's for Nesto. It's like a mortgage broker. And the scene, it was funny. It was like a basketball scene. And the thing is, everyone there, but me and this other guy, were actual athletes. So it's actually where I met one of my boys, Dominique. He's a CFL quarterback.
Oh, is it?
And I had to guard him. The thing is, COVID, I didn't go to the gym. I don't play basketball. This guy's 6'4", top shape. I couldn't keep up.
Bullying your ass.
I
eh?
could not keep up.
That's crazy.
And the thing is, with acting, you're doing multiple scenes, right? So we're running in circles back and forth. We have to do that 30 times. So it was a free gym workout.
Oh, for sure it was, man.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough.
So then what happened?
They gave
Just
us a
said-
break and got my money and went home.
Then after that, you just said, I'm not doing this anymore?
Well, that's when I started to take over the nightclub after, and I just got way too busy.
Yeah, I can imagine how nightclubs are busy, man.
And it's always last minute too, right? You get an audition, and next week you have to be in Toronto on a Friday or Saturday. I can't just get up and leave the nightclub by itself, right? So priorities.
Because that was still in Toronto at that time, right?
The gigs,
Yeah.
yeah, it's Toronto or Montreal. Sometimes you get
See what
some.
I'm saying, man?
Yeah.
What is here in Ottawa? That's what drives me nuts sometimes. I think.
You have a lot of the Christmas movies in Almont because it's just cheaper for them. But then again, it's the same old cringy Christmas movies. It gets tiring after a while.
No, 100%. Like even with the podcast, that like we were when I started first doing the podcast, we were researching of what's in the area, and there's barely anything. And honestly, the ones that are around, with all due respect that I got nothing to do with them, but I found it was very stupid, no substance. Mm-hmm. Just a bunch of guys fooling around, try to copy chunks in the other guys. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you know what? I wanted to do it, but I also wanted to move to the States. I've been talking about moving to the States.
Same.
Man, where do you want to go?
This might sound funny to you. I always want to go to Miami, but then seeing how this world's getting, I thought Texas.
My guy, yo, don't even get me
Say it.
started. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
You know how bad I'm dying to go to Texas?
Really,
I'm
yeah?
a big fucking barbecue guy too, bro.
Oh, okay.
I love my beef. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's fantastic.
Yeah, it seems. I mean, it's cheap too, right? Like you look at houses there, 400K, you get a nice big house,
What the fuck?
and then here it's a townhouse.
Unbelievable. Not even a townhouse. You might get one of those condo
Yeah, the
units.
condos. Yeah,
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
No, I'm like you, man. Honestly, I'm actually going down to go take a look.
really.
100%.
Yeah,
I gotta do something different, man. I like you, man. I've done the Toronto.
yeah,
I've done the Montreal. I want to get the fuck out of here.
yeah.
And like you said, man, I just feel like that's more of like the space I kind of want to be in.
I think about it a lot. Where just leave everything here, just pick up and restart.
You should. You know what? If I go down, you should come down too.
I'm down, bro.
Honestly, we'll go take a look at it. I already have. How about I tell you? I have a stampede of people right now that want to leave with me.
Really?
I swear to God, I shit you know.
Damn.
I'm fucking done with Canada, to be honest with you.
I don't want to raise my kid here.
No,
I
absolutely.
really don't. Like I talk about it with my girl all the time. It's like, hey, like when we're ready, we're going to Texas.
That's a fucking fact, man. I'm with you on that, bro. I already have a kid and I have another one on the way.
Really?
So imagine how I fucking feel. I want to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I keep saying, I'm looking at different places. First of all, taxes are beautiful, bro.
Really?
Beautiful in Texas.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And I'm going to tell you something off camera. Until you motherfuckers subscribe, I'll give you the juice. But I'm going to tell you something off camera about how you can get there as well.
Really?
Yeah, man. It's I'll tell you about that off the scenes. But if you're actually dead serious, man, I'm gonna be going down there probably the next few months. I want to go take a look. I'm gonna go scope it out. I want to see, because the thing is, you can't just like, I've been watching a lot. I've been talking to a lot of people down there, and at the same time, I've been remember how I said I'm gonna give you the juice off the camera, but they're telling me there's a lot to it. You can't just up and move.
Yeah.
Like you got to look at certain demographics and where you're gonna be and where you're gonna go, and it's a big place.
Yeah, I tried to move to the States just in general because my uncle lives out in San Diego. And I'm like, oh, like I have family down there, you know? But to get sponsored, it's almost impossible.
I'll give you the juice, bro.
Okay.
I'll give you the juice. So then let me ask you this. What about MrBeast Burgers?
Yeah, so that happened during the last lockdown. It was so weird. It was actually one of my delivery guys for like Pepsi. Was an off-brand of Pepsi. He's like, oh, like, what are you going to do during the lockdown? I'm like, go to Miami, chill. Because Miami was open at the time. It was crazy. And he's like, oh, like, you should look into the MrBeast Burger thing. I knew who MrBeast was. No idea what the burger. Like, I didn't know he had a burger chain.
Yeah.
So when I got home, I looked into it and I saw that their headquarters was in Orlando. It's run by a company called Virtual Dining Concept.
Okay.
So when I was in Miami, I went up to Orlando, checked it out. Delicious, by the way. Delicious.
I was gonna ask.
Oh my God, it's so good. So yeah, I fell in love with the burger and I'm like, okay, I'm doing this. So came back to Ottawa, and at the time, Abbas had a restaurant in Canada. It was called Drama, and he also had Happy Fish. He still has Happy Fish.
All right.
So I pitched him the idea. I'm like, listen, we can do this. This is, you know, how much we can make potentially. And he kind of just gave me the green light, sent the chefs out for training. And a month later, we opened up the 2 locations. And when I tell you it was insane, we couldn't even keep up.
Really?
It was that crazy. So we opened, and we had about like probably 100 burgers like ready to go, like on deck.
Right.
The first 10 minutes, we probably got 15 orders, and we had our little grill. There's not enough space on the grill for the burgers.
That's fucking.
So we had to shut the store down within the first 15 minutes just so that we can catch back up. And then after the first hour, we sold out of burgers.
That's crazy, man. That's like the best case scenario you can ever hear.
It was, but it was hectic because you start getting like 1-star reviews, right? Because it's like, I ordered my burger and it's taking forever to come here. It's like, we don't have room on the grill. Like,
that's insane. You know what? You're right. Where are the 2 chains anyways?
So one was in Canada at the restaurant that we had, but we shut that down. So we don't have that location anymore. And then we did a Happy Fish for a while, but we were the only spot in Ottawa doing it. So to keep up with the demand was near impossible. It was because we were on Elgin Street, right? We're prime downtown, and it was available for like 20 kilometers from that location.
Holy fuck.
So it was insane. Like,
how many orders would you guys get in a day?
We never got to that point. It was only 4 hours, and then we'd sell out every single time.
Really?
Yeah.
So how does it work? Do you have to, like, is there a distributor you have to buy off?
So
or is there is there, you can just go to like Costco Business Center and then you get the stuff yourself and they prep it?
Kind of. So basically, they give you a recipe and you have to follow that recipe. But the recipe is very diverse and it's also very detailed. So it's like, you have to get your meat, but your meat has to be certain moisture and, like a quarter pounder, but it has to be crushed. So there's only pretty much one spot you can go to, and that's GFS, Gordon's Food Services. So we went through them.
So do you still have that look? Do you still have it?
No, we stopped for the time being. We still have the contract, but just for now we stopped. We have to focus on the club. Plus, Happy Fish is in some renovations right now, so we just kind of put a stop to it.
So what do you think about MrBeast's statement about the burgers? Because I thought he said he's going to pull out of the burger joint.
Really?
Oh, you didn't see that?
Nah, I didn't even know, man. It runs by itself, right? So I don't really have to worry about it. But
yeah, I was curious about that because I know he put out a statement being like he's pulling out of MrBeast Burgers. I don't know if he's shutting it down completely.
Yeah.
Or he's just said like, I'm going to just take my name off it. I don't know. Well, definitely.
Damn,
for
gives me
for you to
think
Google,
about. Yeah. Holy crap, that's crazy.
But it was interesting because I remember MrBeast came off of the Beast Burgers. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what a genius. This guy has his own CEO. I remember I watched that interview.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're just sitting in the limelight. The guy's doing all the work. Like I was hearing his philosophy and I'm like, bro, that's a dream, man.
Well, that's something that VDC does, like virtual dining concepts. They do that with a lot of people. Like Cake Boss, Cake Boss?
Yeah.
They have him as well. So it's the same concept. Yeah.
I know. I've seen they have vending machines for him, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've never tried
That's
it. I don't know if you have.
No, I try to stay away from that
I
stuff.
won't lie to you, bro. If I'm seeing it off a vending machine,
Yeah.
I'm definitely not going to do that. So let me ask you this. If you're able to go back a few years of what you know now, what would the advice be? What would you tell yourself then?
That's a good question. If I could go back a couple years, I'd probably tell myself to stop being angry at the world. Because when I was 17, I had a major concussion, so I couldn't work. I didn't go to school for 6 months. And in the meantime, everyone else was working. Everyone at my high school, they were getting cars, they're going on trips, they're going to parties. And I was just mad at the world because I couldn't afford anything. I was broke. And I always tried finding excuses for myself. But the day I realized, I'm like, okay, don't be angry at the world, use that as motivation, that's when it helped me a lot. I started to see more success because you can't be sorry for yourself. Just get up and keep working.
It's amazing, man.
So, yeah,
So when did you actually stop throwing the pity party and actually got up and went out there?
Probably when I was 18, when I started doing music videos. But even then, I wasn't confident in myself, right? I was always like, oh, my music videos are crap, right? But it took me a while. It takes you a while, right? It's not just one day to the next. But
honestly, I get very impressed when I hear stories like yours, man.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
Because I've seen the opposite side of the things. I've seen the opposite side where basically people didn't know how to get their shit together until they were 25, 26.
Yeah. I still feel like I don't have my shit together, but
no, that's okay, man. You know what I mean? Everything is you know what? I love this space so much because in the end of the day, first of all, it's a journey. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know how to enjoy it at the same time, it's gonna fucking wear you down real quick. But when I hear stories like I was 17 telling myself to shut the fuck up, put the straps on, or get the bootstraps up, you know what I mean? Put your fatigues on, go to war. And then at 18, you guys started doing that. It's amazing, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people your age never did that shit, bro. And I see them all the time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
everyone's on their own time, though, too, right?
No, I wish you nothing but the best, man. What do you have any future plans or anything like that you want to share?
Texas, bro. Texas.
That's my guy who's gonna do Texas with me, man.
Nah, it's the space I'm in right now. It's good, but I always want more, right? Maybe opening another nightclub in another city. We were in talks of doing another the show in Toronto because it's student oriented, right? So anywhere there's a college or university, we can make it happen.
Texas, bro.
But yeah, that's
Texas, baby. That's where we're going down to.
Yeah.
We'll see you in fucking Texas, everybody. That's what we're gonna be doing.
Yeah, that's the goal.
You know what? Hopefully, like I said, we're about to get off camera. Anyways, I'm gonna give you that juice.
I'm very curious, man.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna give it to you right now. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. Like I said, like, share, and subscribe. We got Mr. Bambino here. Love.